Creator, dreamer, and game changer, Steve Jobs changed the world through ideas and courage. Watch the quiz and see how much you really know about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was adopted shortly after birth. Why? Parents were unmarried. What promise did Steve Jobs' adoptive parents make before adopting him? Sent him to college. What was Steve Jobs' adoptive father's job? Mechanic. Steve Jobs was fired from which company he helped create? Correct, Apple. What year did Steve Jobs introduce the iPhone? – 2007. Which company did Steve Jobs buy for just $10 million? Correct, Pixar. What product saved Apple when Steve Jobs returned in 1997? iMac. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit almost every day. Why? To save time deciding. What did Steve Jobs study in college? He dropped out. Who was Steve Jobs' business partner in founding Apple? Correct, Steve Wozniak. How many children did Steve Jobs have? Four. What company did Steve Jobs start after leaving Apple? Next. Which achievement made Steve Jobs a billionaire? Pixar's success. What famous phrase did Steve Jobs say in his Stanford speech? Stay hungry, stay foolish. Which food did Steve Jobs eat almost every day for a period? Apples and carrots. Which Apple product was developed in complete secrecy? iPhone. What was Steve Jobs' official role at Apple when he returned in 1997? ICO. What phrase did Steve Jobs famously use at the end of lunches? One more thing. How old was Steve Jobs when he died? 56. Did Steve Jobs step down as Apple CEO before his death? Yes. What guided Steve Jobs' way of thinking and creating? Comment your guess. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more fun and informative quizzes every week.